Hey everyone, I'm Jeff from InThirdPerson.com, a personal look at video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. And if you've been following me on Twitter or Instagram for the last day or so, you know that I bought an Arcade1Up Street Fighter 2 machine, and Walmart, which is carrying the machine, had the machines in stock on sale, 80 bucks off. And the Walmart I went to by my house actually had a demo unit of the machine. And like right off the bat I realized, man, this is smaller than an actual arcade machine. And it's 3/4 size, and it looks weird when you see it for the first time in real life, because you're like, man, this is like a tiny baby arcade machine. But when I built it, if you have a chair and you're, I don't know, I'm slightly below average height for a North American person, so but sitting on a chair, it was perfect. You can buy a riser to stand it up a little higher so you could play it like true arcade and stand up and play. And like, I love the way the machine looked. It had the button layout that was authentic to the arcade. It didn't use the exact sticks that were used in North America. It used the Japanese style ball top joystick, which I actually prefer over the North American bat top. It looked great. I was okay with that. I didn't mind that it had North American buttons. I didn't mind that there were no settings whatsoever on the games. You can't change the difficulty, you can't change the timer, you can't change that handicap. I just really wanted to be able to play Street Fighter on an arcade machine. And for that, I was like, okay, we're going to try it out. Today's the day. So go home, and we build it, and the machine, like, it takes about an hour to build. If you can build IKEA furniture, you can build this machine. And so we built the machine, and a couple of things stood out to me that really bothered me about the Arcade1Up machine. And one of them was the screen. Now, I understand that the machines are being shipped. There's all sorts of ways that the screen can get bumped. I thought that the packaging was really good, and they packed the screen really well. But the screen that I got had a bunch of scratches on it. Like, some of them were just like minor, you can't see it when the TV's on. Some of them you really could. And yeah, there was a scratch that was like 1.5 inches right where player 1 is usually standing on the screen. And that was problematic. And so even with that, I was thinking, like, you know what, it's a pain to switch a screen. It's kind of authentic to the arcade in that, yeah, most of the time when you played a Street Fighter 2 arcade machine, you were not playing under ideal circumstances anyway, so I could deal with that. The problem was the joysticks. So on this joystick, right, this motion right here on player 1 does not work. So this is down back if you are on the left hand side. So what this means, if this direction doesn't work, is that you cannot block low at all in Street Fighter. So anyone can just clip at your legs over and over again and you will lose. And there's nothing you could do. And on the player 2 side, same thing, joystick, but it's actually this up diagonal direction. Actually, both up diagonal directions. So over here and over here. Yeah, I know my finger's like obstructing it, but like these two directions did not work. And what that means is you can't actually jump forwards or backwards in the game if you are playing as player 2. And so now is in a situation where the screen's broken, or the screen's scratched, both joysticks are broken, and I reached out to customer service. I gave them a call, waited for about an hour, and nobody picked up the phone. I submitted tickets as well through their online service, haven't heard back from them yet. And I was willing to fix them myself because I have extra joysticks here. I have better joysticks than the ones that come with the system. But then they've also built it in such a way where the metal plate that holds the joystick to the wood was screwed in with 6 screws and also glued down. And also they put a thick layer of glue on the screws themselves, so you really had to hack the thing to get in there. And I think just the combination of... Oh, man, I just got stopped out. The combination of the screen being scratched up and both joysticks being broken out of the box, and that the arcade machine being built in such a way that makes it kind of difficult to mod those joysticks, and customer service not being all that helpful. And then I also read on Twitter a bunch of complaints from users who complain that Arcade1Up wouldn't return their screens because they weren't broken enough, or people who were waiting months for their parts to arrive. And I just said, also we should need to switch camera back. And I just said, like, you know what, I don't have to deal with this stress. This is not what I wanted out of owning a Street Fighter 2 machine, even a brand new Street Fighter 2 machine. And so I said, forget it. I don't want this in my life anymore.